Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, we're going to talk about the scene between Kimmy and Melody. Kimmy definitely felt away, and Trisha, she seems to have like a lot of anger issues. I think she needs an anger management class. But I will be recapping every single scene of the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And before I get into my recap, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. All right, so the episode opens up at the graduation party for Trisha and Marquez's two children, Xavier and Zaria. Ken actually said in his confessional that this is his family too, and that Marquez needs to be respectful. Now, in my previous videos, I've let you all know it's just my intuition, but I get negative vibes concerning Ken. I know that financially he has been helping Trisha with her kids. I know that he's dating a married woman with two children, and to some women, Ken is a hero. I do not respect dating someone who is married, and I don't understand how Trisha is so comfortable to live with a man while having two kids and she's married. What kind of example is she setting for her children? But on top of all of that, I get really bad vibes from Ken. And of course, I do not know him personally, so it's not anything specific that I'm referring to, but it is my feelings within. Now, also during this time, I feel like it's safe to say that they were drinking. They had the bar, and it seemed like Marquez was buzzing, and Trisha and Ken. There's going to be arguing back and forth, off and on. And I think that for it to have been a graduation party for the kids, they perhaps had probably too much liquor flowing, and then on top of that, there was tension between Marquez and Ken and Marquez and Trisha. So it just seems like the adults really did not handle the situation the best, and we're going to talk more about that. Now, then we have Melody. She brings up to Maurice while at the graduation party that, in regards to his DUI arrest, that it was embarrassing and she was disappointed. And she did not like the attitude that he took on the next day when it was all like him showing up to the day party at Black. And he's like, posing in pictures and his hashtag free Maurice. She thought that he should have been more humble about it because it was such a serious offense, the DUI. And she said, I lost my grandmother to a drunk driver. That is when Maurice interrupts her. He did not show her empathy and say, I'm sorry for the loss of your grandma. That was a heinous thing that happened to her. And I am not the same as that driver. He said that sort of, kind of, but it was with a lot more anger to it. And he did not give condolences regarding the grandmother. He did not care. He was defensive. And Melody says that to him, that he was defensive and that his tone, was getting angry. But he was feeling defensive and judged. He told Melody that she was being condescending. And in his confessional, we all saw the clip on Instagram. I made a video about it where Maurice says that, she's omnipresent. And before long, she'll become a deity. But that's how you all see Melody. They say those things in their confessional as if Melody has said it herself that she is a god, or she's trying to transform into one, as if that's possible. No, that's how you all are interpreting her, in my opinion. Now, when she brought up the conversation, it was just the two of them at the table. But after a few moments, Kimmy comes back. The Fletchers came back. They had gotten more drinks from the bar. And Destiny was seated. So now Melody and Maurice are going back and forth. And Destiny, she says in her confessional that Kimmy, did not interrupt when Melody and Maurice were going back and forth. She said, but Kimmy was pissed. And she's like, I think that she just, let it be, because that's how it is with Melody. It's just a cycle. Really, Destiny? Shut up. You're making it sound as if Melody just goes around attacking people. Maurice is the one who got the DUI. An officer actually arrested him. That has nothing to do with Melody. She did not tell Maurice to drink and then drive. She cannot tell an officer how to do his job. Maurice is the one who got the DUI, and Melody is responding to it. And she's being 100% about the entire situation. I think Kim or Destiny, she is speaking from a perspective of also having a mugshot. And, also plainly, she just doesn't like Melody. Now, let's move on. So, Marquez, he actually tried to sit with the cast, but the son, Xavier, got him from the table. And Chris Fletcher said in his confessional that he thinks that Xavier, Marquez, and Trisha's son was embarrassed by Marquez trying to explain to the cast at the graduation party that he is the biological dad, and there is some tension. He was saying, like, I'm sure you all can tell that Trisha is a difficult person to get along with. And I've said in previous videos, of course, I do not think Marquez is perfect. I totally disagree with him leaving his family, moving to Atlanta. In my opinion, I think that he's just discovering who he is and living his truth, just in my opinion. I could be wrong about that. But it just seems like he doesn't spend a lot of face-to-face time with his kids. And I think that's what really angers Trisha. And then Trisha, I think she also just has anger overall. But I think perhaps also she probably feels a little betrayed, or like she thought she knew the guy, and then now she realizes that she doesn't. That's what I think. But as long as they're not really saying every single thing that has led up to the end of their marriage, we're not going to fully know. All we can do is guess. And then I have like my guesses. And I feel like Trisha feels a little ultimately betrayed. And I think that has to do a lot with her hostility towards him. Now, Ken and Marquez, they have a talk during the graduation party, and Ken taunted Marquez, saying that when the daughter goes to school, she talks about Ken and not her biological dad. I thought that was a low blow, Ken. Listen, the kids, they don't seem very close with Marquez. It seems kind of awkward. You have Trisha, they live with you, you help provide for them. You don't have to taunt Marquez and throw it up in his face that he's been a loser dad, in your opinion, and that you're like the hero or Captain Save-A-Ho. You don't have to throw it up in Marquez's face. He's aware. That's why he's so emotional at the party, because, he probably does feel a little guilty, a little bad, as he should. So you don't have to throw it up in his face. That seems really petty to me and really hurtful. But I can see why Ken and Trisha, why they vibe with each other, because they both seem to be very angry and hostile, and they seem like they have mean streaks. We've seen Ken go off on women and talk about women's looks on Instagram. So I think they have an extreme mean streak, and it can cause them to say really awful things once they are mad at someone. Marquez actually questioned if Ken can have his own biological kids. Now, that's an interesting question. I do not think that it's far-fetched. But Marquez, what I do want to add to that is, even if he can have his own biological kids, I think it's a matter of Ken likes to date women who are single parents, and it makes him feel like a hero if he's coming in and saving you. versus if he met a single woman who's not married, who does not have any children, then he can't say to her, oh, that husband of yours is awful. I'd be a better man to you than him. Oh, he left you as a single parent. Let me help you. If a woman doesn't have those two factors going on, she's not married and she doesn't have any kids, then there's nothing for Ken to really save. She's already independent. And I think that that's who he targets. That's just my opinion. Just the fact that he has a history with the married women and women with kids. Definitely check out Queen Sheba's video from Saturday, December 21st. You know, she says she says some insightful things about this whole triangle. Definitely check out her video. So then we see where Tisha, Kimmy, and Trisha meet up to recap the graduation party. Trisha actually said that she wanted to slap Marquez and Melody. She brought up Melody asking which house did Trisha go to when she visited Martell. Excuse me. So Kimmy and Tisha were saying, you know, she was trying to figure out if it was her house. And Trisha said, do you know how many people I train at home? Well, this is Martell Holt that we're talking about, Trisha. Not only is it Martell that you trained at home, but you two lied about it. He tried to act like he didn't even know you. And then you just acted like you only knew him through his brother. Then it came out that you'd gone to his house. And as far as Melody asking you those questions, even Tisha said it on Carlos King's Messy Monday show. That was the difference between a freshman and a senior. She was giving a scene for the TV show. Who cares about what Martell Holt was doing back in 2020? Especially after the trifling baby boy-ish that he and Ariane uploaded on her YouTube channel last night. Melody does not care. She was giving you scene. And that's what you don't understand. But you're the one that met up with Martell and then lied about it. Now, I do want to say that Melody brought up a good point during this meetup that they showed us during this week's episode. So we learned that Melody also asked Trisha about Maurice's DUI. And Trisha said, yeah, we were hanging out with him. Melody asks, well, why did you let him drive? And Trisha's like, oh, we thought he could handle it. You know, I'm paraphrasing. But that's a good point. Like, why did you let your friend go like that? And then he ended up getting the DUI. Well, the ladies told Kimmy that Melody brought up the red lipstick. And Kimmy said that Melody's plight in life is to figure out other people's cheating. Well, Kimmy, Melody is not randomly asking if so-and-so is cheating. Is so-and-so's husband cheating? Is he stepping out? She does not randomly do that. I follow Melody on Instagram. I follow her on TikTok and the rest of her scenes on the show. She's never talked like that prior to him getting the DUI. She just doesn't do that season after season. So if he hadn't gotten the DUI with the cherry lips, then we wouldn't be here having this discussion. So then we see where the Fletchers, they went fencing and they had some placed scenes about Nell discussing where she did not want to celebrate their 30th anniversary because little Chris went to jail not once, not twice, but 3 times, and that it was costly. So her budget for a 30th wedding anniversary has a huge dent in it because of little Chris Fletcher's arrest. Plus, her mom died during their 25th anniversary. So she has like some sadness there when she thinks about planning a ceremony for the 30th. But we all know that obviously they had the 30th vow renewal because that's going to be the season finale episode. Now, when I say placed scenes, I mean, so they have this fencing scene, but then they're discussing the 30th vow renewal. Nell brings up Lance. And Chris Fletcher says, yeah, I talked to Lance, and he says that you no longer want to have our 30th vow renewal. And, it made him feel away. And then they cut to the scene of Chris Fletcher talking to Lance, where he tells Chris that Nell is thinking about not having the 30th vow renewal, or she'll cut it back drastically. And then they showed her, sitting with her niece Kiki and Lance, saying that, she lost her mom during her 25th anniversary. So there's, that issue. So that was their scene. And then we see where Trisha and Marquez, they met at the ice cream parlor. Their two kids could not make it. The daughter, Zaria, didn't feel good, and Xavier did not want to go. I think that Xavier does not like Marquez being on camera. So I don't think Xavier wants to film with his dad. That is just my guess, because he grabbed him from the cast table at the graduation party, and then he did not show up with Trisha. So I think he does not want to film with his dad because of, I guess, he's a teenager. He doesn't want to feel embarrassed. Now, in this scene, Marquez said that he talks to the kids all the time, but Trisha wants him to show up face to face more. And Marquez said that if Ken wasn't around, the kids' lifestyle would not change, because him and Trisha would work together on it. Now, Trisha and Ken, in interviews, they have insinuated that Marquez struggles financially, that they have to give him gas money just to drive the 3 hours from Atlanta to Huntsville to see the kids. Even in her confessional, Trisha said that she doesn't think that he can afford to move back to Huntsville, because he actually told Chris Fletcher that he wants to find a place in Huntsville. And Trisha said she doesn't even think he can afford to do that. So I feel like they're really trying to hype up this entire portion of the cast, this Trisha, Ken, and Marquez. And I feel like production keeps trying to get us to bond with some additional couples. And I believe in, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the further that they move from those original seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville, the worse ish gets. I feel like really try and heal the core six, but they haven't done that. And now things have taken, a role for the worse amongst the core six. But this additional people, Trisha, Ken, and Marquez, this ain't it. So now let's move on to Melody and Kimmy. Production obviously was really promoting this scene. It's the last scene of the episode. And I felt like both ladies were looking good. I remember this outfit of Melody because she took pictures and posted them on her Instagram. And the red bottoms looking oh so sexy, okay? So they meet up at a very chic looking establishment. I thought it was very nice. But in any event, I don't know if that was at a hotel or what, but they talked about Melody questioning if Maurice had lipstick on his lips. Now, Melody expressed to Kimmy, because Kimmy wanted to know, why did you say that? What were your thoughts? It had Kimmy feeling insecure, in my opinion. Melody explained that she did not want to say whether or not Maurice may have stepped out on Kimmy. This angers Kimmy even more. Now, for those of you who are blacking out the episodes, you can check out this clip on Instagram. on Love and Marriage Huntsville's Instagram page. The scene is more than 5 minutes long. And the kicker is, for me, that Kimmy never once asked, never declared, Maurice has never cheated on me, or Maurice was not cheating on me the night of his DUI arrest. She never declared or decreed any of that. Instead, she asked Melody, do you have any proof or receipt? She asked for proof if he was cheating. I find that to be very interesting. Why wouldn't you declare he's never stepped out? We've even heard Trisha say that back during season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. She said, I know my husband has been faithful. Kimmy did not say that in this scene. She asked for proof. Like, WTF. That is really almost like she knows something a little bit more than the rest of us do. And Melody doesn't want to be the one to drop the bomb. So that's why she would not talk about it. She left it in the air for either Kimmy to disclose or for her to slip up and confess in her confessional. But in her confessional, Kimmy made it all about Melody, saying that Melody was a wordsmith. So she finds it very weird that in this scene, she will not say to her whether or not Maurice has stepped out. So I am very concerned at this point. So when Kimmy, allegedly she's supposed to have some words with Melody at the reunion. We'll have to see what that is. I think that is just her making it about Melody and not about the pink lipstick. Because if you're that super mad at her, it's like you're mad that she mentioned it on camera, brought something to the forefront, and then you ask for more. You asked her in this scene for proof or receipt. That's just giving, there's something more there. So we'll have to see if they circle back around to it during the next season of LAMH. But I have a feeling they're going to sweep it under the rug. But we'll have to see. But what did you all think of this episode? What did you think of this scene between Melody and Kimmy? I hope that you all are having a great weekend. As you can see, I am still sick. So the cough went away for a couple of days. Then it came back late Friday night. My energy level has increased, but there's still some cold. I went back to the doctor yesterday and they felt like there was some wheezing now. So they feel like now the cold is in my chest. So I got some more stuff and I'm hoping, oh my gosh, that in a few days I'll feel significantly better. But I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.